The American dream: to own your own home, purchase commercial real estate, or that Airbnb you always wanted. Owning and managing property has its benefits, but what happens when things go wrong or seem too unreal to be true? One man has seen it all. Lucas Thomas, CEO and founder of RHM Real Financial Planning, who stands ready to help you navigate the real and unreal parts of the real estate business.
So basically, so all the title companies are basically getting assaulted by these
Oh, yeah.
scammers. When did
Well,
that start? Was it
it's
recent
not
or is it
really the
not?
title companies, it's the real estate agents. It's the real
Mm,
estate agents are getting the leads from, I've seen leads from realtor.com that realtors have sent me, and they'll say, oh my gosh, this and that. I teach CE. We have
mm.
continuing ed for realtors, and I called it the imposters among us. And it's just fascinating how these bad guys will call these agents, and even they will even have face-to-face meetings now,
Huh.
phone
Oh, we were talking
calls.
about that. You have a filter for another human being,
Correct.
and you're just like, hey,
Yeah,
I'm
the
Lucas Thomas. I
AI.
don't need the real Lucas Thomas. I just need a Lucas Thomas filter
Oh,
with
this is
AI.
funny. This is funny. Warren Buffett. We all know
Mm,
Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett did an interview with, I think, the Washington Post or whatever. Anyway,
mm.
if you Google him, go on and try to find that interview, and I think it's the Washington Post or Wall Street Journal. Anyway, this is a few years ago. Warren Buffett even said that he saw an AI video of himself, and it was him, had the clothes that he wears. The voice was his voice. And he
Mm.
said if that video got to his family or got to him, he would send himself money. I'm in
Ah,
trouble, I'm in jail in Mexico, and I need $30,000. He said it was so real, it was crazy.
oh yeah,
And he
that's
said
crazy.
the in that article, he said that AI will actually be the what was the nuclear.
Oh,
It'll
like
be
the
it'll be
nuclear,
big.
then like
It'll be
the
used for good,
nuclear.
and it will definitely be used for evil. And so it's a really good article. I was just telling you, Lucas, I was
Mm,
at an NS3 convention. So realtors, lenders, title
mm,
experts, the Fed was there. Anyway, they had a whole meeting on AI, and they said if you have, we all have voicemail, right? We all have
mm.
personal voicemail message. These bad guys need exactly 4 seconds of your voice to be able to duplicate and use your voice for uh, criminal activity.
Yeah. Well,
So,
I just read an article about that. So I get spam because sadly I'm a real estate
yeah.
agent, and because I'm a real estate agent, my phone number is in the public, and because my phone number is in the public, the do not call list does not protect me. So I probably get 15, 20 fake calls a day, and what they'll do is they'll call you and you just say hello, hello, are you there? And that's all they need, and then they can copy your voice. So
Or hi, this is
I'm
Lucas.
technically already in trouble because
Yeah.
I've already answered hundreds of those.
You
Because
know, I actually took off my personal voicemail message right after it bothered me. I found it so bothersome that they can do that. And for those of us that we are out there in the public,
oh yeah,
and it's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Well, I have a show, so I'm screwed no matter what
You
we do.
are. You're just out there.
So I'm already
Yeah.
getting there's probably going to be 100 different it's going to be 100 different Lucas Thomases. We don't know. Like and then they're going to NFT me, you know what I'm saying? So next thing you know, it's like I'm a trading card. Lucas Thomas blue, yellow, green, orange, and then it's
Just
like, yeah.
famous.
That's what I'm saying. It's crazy
It is.
how
It is.
quickly
Well, when
it can how quickly it's accelerated. And I don't even think we've seen the worst of it because only now are because AI because ChatGPT only came out what 2 years ago?
maybe a little bit longer.
Yeah, it's
Maybe.
only been 2 3 years, and so my background is I used to be a copywriter. You know what I mean, writing sales copy. So it was horrifying for me because that was one of my original careers. It's what helped me catapult me into real estate. It's I literally use copywriting every day because I help persuade people. I mean, help build me into the man I am today. And the problem is I literally watched the copywriting industry literally get wiped out overnight from
Yeah.
AI, and that was nuts. Because and a lot of people go out and say, well, no, you can still make a living as a copywriter. I'm like, well, yeah, but you can't not. I mean, nothing against the average consumer, but they don't care. Like they don't care. They just want 20 pages of copy. They don't want to pay, but you get 20 pages of copy, edit it. You get like so what it would take an entire day worth of work now takes 30 minutes or less.
Or
And
less.
and
Or
the
less.
problem is like quality is not always what they're looking for. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I literally watched an entire industry get wiped out overnight, and I'm horrified because it's like because a lot of people they don't get to experience that. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people's their job wasn't wiped out overnight. I literally watched one of my old careers get wiped out. So that's how
Yeah.
scary it is because like it hits home to me. Just that because I literally watched
Well,
one of my old careers get wiped out. It's crazy.
when it comes to real estate and real estate fraud, I mean everything matters. Every email. Somehow these guys have figured out how to interject themselves, hijack email. And now they must have the, I don't know if it's bots or whatever that are inside the computers, and they, here's your closing statement, or here's, congratulations on the, your accepted offer. And when I was a lender for 10 years, I worked for Countrywide, Bank of America, Wells Fargo. And I remember putting lunch menu or here's a new recipe in the subject line, because at that time we were even kind of cautioned to be careful about what you put in the body of an email. And I do think that it's really important for buyers and sellers to use real estate professionals that are really trained, have an ear and an eye for this stuff, and then using title companies that have security processes and procedures in place to really help eliminate this kind of activity. I mean, people are losing hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, and it's a big deal. Real estate
Oh yeah.
real estate's one of the most expensive investments people are probably going to make.
Oh yeah.
And it's pretty heartbreaking when you see your friends and neighbors lose out on something like this. So
Yeah. So
we are,
how are title companies combating this then? Like, what's the
yeah.
strategies? Like, are we still learning as we go, or we pretty much
No,
have a
we learned, and you never want to see any time. We don't want to see our competitors lose out either. And so part of from
well, it
my
comes to
role,
criminals, like we we would prefer everyone win. We prefer everyone win against criminals, right? Like,
well, and
so
just I when I've had the opportunity to talk to primarily the real estate community because they're the first target, right?
yeah. Well,
Especially if
I think it like lines of defense. So the real estate agents are your
they
first line of
they
defense.
have to really
Lenders are your
be
second line of defense,
they
and
have to be
then
there.
title
They
companies are your third line of defense. But like in your story, right? If you buy cash, you just eliminated the lender because the lenders are really good at due diligence. So usually lenders don't run into a lot of these trouble. So
Not really. You're
basically,
right. You're absolutely right. It's cash. we're, in the trainings that I do, in the meetings that I do, when we're specifically talking about this seller impersonation fraud, and I sold real estate. I was started in real estate in 1993. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like I'm the grandmother, old lady of real estate. But really making sure especially the listing agents, that if you don't know the seller personally, if they just call you out of the blue, if they want a quick sale and they want to sell it for, 60 cents on the dollar for what it's worth, and they always have these bad guys always have a story. My wife's in the hospital. We've got medical expenses. I need a quick sale. If all of these little red flags are present, then it really should be the listing agent along with the title companies, because we are, especially Flying S Title and Escrow, we are really highly trained to sniff this stuff out, and it's really easy. I'll give you an example. You wanted a story.
Yes,
One
all
of the
stars, story
Okay,
time.
here's a good one. I saw a buy sell agreement come through the website, and it was one of the funky ones that I can just instantly know that it's fraud.
Mhm.
And it had the address and it had a funky signature. So I hopped online and Googled the address, and it was about $1 million property in Sun Valley,
Mhm.
and it was for sale by owner on Zillow. And so I called the phone number on Zillow, and her name was Pam. Can't remember her last name, but anyway, I called the number and I said, Pam, this is Debbie with Flying S Title and Escrow. Is your property under contract with Francis, somebody out of Canada? I said, I just received a buy sell agreement for the full amount. Your name's on it, your signature's on it. And she said, absolutely. She was horrified. And she
Mhm.
said, I'm not under contract. And I said, I figured that was the case. Just wanted to call and verify that with you directly. And she said, oh my gosh, thank you for the call. She said, should I take my property off the market? And I said, no, but it would be a really good idea if you found a good local real estate agent that you were going to do business with,
Yeah.
and stay out of doing this on your own.
Yeah,
And
and
so
that
that's
kind of
just a
shows the
case.
value, and that kind of shows the value of the different lines of defense. I mean,
Yeah,
all those
yeah.
people are annoying, but I mean, like the more lines of defense you have between you and the world, I mean, the better it is.
Well, and
Because
I think we got to talk to each other. I mean, with cell phones and texting and email, and I mean, the voice to voice conversations aren't happening like they need to. And one
yeah,
of the things that we do at our title company is we will reach out and talk to you directly. And we
mhm,
just want to make sure that everybody's protected. And then
yeah,
the other thing, I think the local title companies are sharing the information on these bad guys, so that, I mean, we don't want to see anybody get hurt, because
oh yeah,
everybody's going to get hurt at the end of the
yeah.
day.
Yeah, because one of my title companies, they've gone completely like shadow now. So it's like they'll only send you they always tell all their clients that like they'll only text you the actual escrow numbers. So they're like, oh no, we don't email our wire
Oh,
information
yeah.
anymore. We text it to you, and then we call you after we text it to you to verify that you received the text.
I don't
And
think, you know what? Ours is always going to be sent via a secure messaging. And we have protocols in place where we want to talk to if the buyer's sending a wire, we want to talk to the buyer. Not, I mean, it used to be that title companies always went through the real estate agents, and we're not doing that anymore. We want the real estate agents stay out of the line of fire and let us deal with this directly.
Oh yeah. Well, well, I mean, like you said, it's hundreds of thousands of dollars, and
Oh,
that
yeah.
would be
And
terrible to lose. And I mean, and then that was another thing that happened to us. Me and my wife, we just bought a new place, and that happened to us because the owner, like, it's funny because all the red flags were there for it to be a fraudulent transaction, but it wasn't, right? So the client who was selling us the place, they were overseas. They had physically not
yeah,
been in the United States for 30 years. They also did not speak any English. So basically, they did not speak English. They had not physically visited America for 30 years. Like everything was screaming, this is fraud. And then one of the title companies I work with, they refused to even do it because of all of this. So I went to one of my other title companies and they were like, no, that guy has to go to the US embassy and he
Yep.
has to do an ID verification at the U.S. Embassy. And
Well, and
it took us 6 months to close,
you
but
know,
like it took us 6 months, but like that was like that's the kind of madness that's going on right now. Is
it,
like,
it,
oh no,
it's
you have to go to the U.S. Embassy and
it's
ID
so
yourself.
insane because these bad guys are getting so good. They are doing a really good job at duplicating licenses. They
Mhm.
will, fraudulent passports. What's really interesting, I learned this in one of the classes. One of the real estate agents that was in a class actually used to be a bartender.
Mhm.
And on a Montana driver's license, if you look at that, I think it's the left side X. I can't remember that under expired, the X, the one leg doesn't go all the way down, it's cut off. But unless
Mm.
you really look at it, you would never know that it wasn't a valid driver's license. And
Hmm.
he said that's the way that they would, identify fake IDs
Oh,
when
that's
kids are trying to,
funny.
purchase booze.
That's
And so
funny.
it is. So and during these classes, it's really funny because everybody's digging out their driver's licenses to see if that's true. But one more story about fraud, Missoula. And this is
Mhm.
a few. This is when this first was popping up. Anyway, buy
Well,
sell
when did
house.
this start? When did this start? Like, I mean,
I think
obviously fraud's been around
well
forever, but when did they get like professional?
in
You know what I'm
in not
saying?
in I think it was October of 2023, the U.S. Secret Service, and I've never seen in all my years of real estate lending. I managed our title company in Bozeman for about
Mhm.
6 or 7 years. I've never seen the Secret Service send out any notices with regard to real estate fraud. And
Mhm.
October of 2023, they did send out a warning, or a, what do they call it? Uh, like a public service announcement to everybody that said, hey, this is happening and it is a big deal. Pay attention.
It's
And so,
happening at
really,
an
I think it was
accelerated rate. So it's
probably
like, I'll be,
February,
yeah.
spring of 2023, we really started getting the
Yeah,
notifications that,
yeah,
hey,
yeah.
you guys,
Like the
yeah,
professionals, like
yeah,
because usually you'll have someone who boutiques it, right? They're really good at it, but it's small enough no one notices, and then they
oh,
sell it
and
to a bunch of other fraudsters, and then and then it proliferates. So you're saying is spring of 2023 is when the professionals took over, and they're
kind
like,
of,
oh man, we could just hit every single city in every part of
yeah,
America. The
yeah.
older, like like, and then they just started hitting everybody. That's so crazy.
Well, and they're really going, these bad guys, they're going online and they're searching property taxes and they're getting the cadastral information. They're finding out online they want properties that are vacant and that are unencumbered, so they're free and clear. They don't have any liens, no mortgages on it, right? And
Yeah,
uh,
our line of defense. So yeah, yeah,
they're
yeah.
looking at the tax bill. So you can go online and look at your tax bill. They are looking at the address. So Lucas, on your properties, I'm going to look at Lucas's property free and clear, and I know that he's out of the country. That's a
Mhm.
target for a
Oh,
bad
gotcha.
guy.
So
And they're
basically,
putting these,
they're looking for vacant slash like not no one's paying attention properties. Got it.
nobody's paying attention. Nobody's paying
Oh
attention.
wow.
And so I mean, that's the target. So if I could give advice to anybody, I would say put a HELOC, put a home equity line of credit. I mean, they're inexpensive. Take out something. So there's something, and reach out to your title companies, reach out to Montana Land Title Association. They may have some ideas for property owners, but they're looking for really free and clear. There's nothing,
Mhm.
it's a really clean title on that property. They
Yeah.
want a quick sale. They want a gullible real estate agent to go ahead and
Hmm.
list it. And I can tell story after story
Hmm.
that real estate agents have told me, that, hey, this happened to me. Every time I do a class, I have at least a handful of people come up and say, oh my gosh, this just happened to me.
Oh wow.
From Cheyenne, Wyoming to Kalispell to down in Idaho. I mean, it's all over. I think they must think that we are uninformed and dumb up here. But it's across the country. But I think they think we're gullible, and we're just not.
Well, I mean, I think they're just trying to do low hanging fruit,
Yeah.
and then they'll hit the low hanging fruit, but then as people learn, then they combat it. So it's like, you know what I mean? So now, so I think that's what's happening. Like it doesn't matter
Well,
where it is, they're going for the lowest hanging
because
fruit, and then when you guys learn how to combat it, then they go to the next lowest hanging fruit. So I
and
think they're
and
running out of. They're eventually they got to run out of places, right? Because
well, and
eventually everyone has to be trained on
talk
how to
about
stop it.
talk about the dumb guy. So there's a dumb guy, and he'll put a buy. This is the one with the same signature on different names, in different areas. He always goes through flying us title and escrow. I mean, come on, dum dum. If you're gonna try to pull this stuff, why would you use the same title company on these transactions? It just kind of
Right?
blows me away. It's like we already know you're stupid. So,
Yeah.
but the
Well,
bat
I
one,
think it's just a mass thing. Like he probably does hundreds of these a days, and he's probably it's like
well,
spam
yeah,
model, right? It's
you're
a spam
probably
model, which
right.
is do 1,000, close 3, right?
Well, and the other thing about that specific bad guy or group, he
Mhm.
would send the same picture of a Montana driver's license, or I think one of them was at Kentucky, and
Mhm.
it was the same lady's picture
Mhm.
on both IDs, but it was a different name.
Oh, fun.
And they were good. I mean, they were so good. So that's
That's
what
crazy.
is just, yeah, high alert. But the one story I wanted to tell you, Missoula, they
Mhm.
had we caught a fraudulent transaction in process. Real estate agent. It was a dual agency, so broker.
Oh,
He was
good.
an
That's
experienced guy.
exactly what we need. Less
Yeah, dual. Let's
defenses.
do dual agency. And
Don't
he
do dual
swore.
agency. Like it's just there's a like just because it's I always tell everyone just because it's legal does not mean it's advisable.
Yeah,
These are not the same.
just
Well, it's legal. Okay.
just because you can does not mean you should, right?
No.
Anyway,
Wires
buyer, we really sniffed out the fraud on that. The broker didn't think so. He tried to pull the transaction, take it across the street because we are pretty picky. If we really know it's fraud, we are not going to close it. No matter how pushy you get, we're not going to close it. And finally, our office was able to convince him that it really was fraudulent. And we I mean, it unraveled and he realized it was fraud.
Oh,
The
that's
buyer
crazy.
realized it
So he
was
was
fraud.
trying to fight you. He's like, I want this fraud to happen.
Well,
That's
you just
crazy.
believe that it's not.
Yeah.
And you just believe that, and you want to do what's best for your buyer and your seller. And he swore that he had a good seller. He really did. And they found out it was fraud. The whole thing unraveled. And thankfully, it did not go through. The buyer was a Missoula district attorney. That was the buyer.
Oh, oh
So
man, and with that Montana law, oh man.
Missoula,
Talking
Montana.
about selling to the wrong
Yeah,
person.
you rung the wrong bell, dude. And I
Oh
don't know what
man.
happened. I
If
don't know
you
what
would
the
have told me
exact
that,
word.
I'd be like, well, we don't sell to attorneys. I'm sorry.
Oh,
like,
again,
like
cash.
I would immediately be like, sorry, I'm gonna refer this out to somebody else. I don't sell to attorneys. It's just the rule, okay? Uh, Attorneys aren't in a protected class still, right? Like so, attorneys aren't a protected class. So
Well,
I'm gonna walk away here.
there's
My
there's
associate will close these. Yeah,
that was
I would never do that deal ever. Even if
that
it
was
was completely legal, I would still not do that deal.
that was ugly on so many levels.
Oh
But
yeah, you saved that guy's butt. Oh my God.
these are smart people that just are, if you think about it, people, they see a really good deal and they have the cash and it's a quick close, and they just, sometimes our recommendation is, hey, if anything smells fishy, it probably is. Just slow down, forget the quick close, and let's really get to the bottom of it.
Yeah. Well, I was gladly trained by tenants in my landlording business, so infinitely skeptical and paranoid.
Yeah.
So that's just like my base nature is skeptical and paranoid. I'm like, wait, why? Why are they selling it for that? Well, that doesn't make any sense. And then I have to go verify that the people who selling it are actually stupid. You know what I mean? It's either fraud or they're stupid. I don't know which. We must go investigate and go down the rabbit hole. And then that's happened to me where I've gone down the rabbit hole. It turns out the sellers are just stupid. I'm like, oh, well, can't go wrong with that one. But like, it took me 2 weeks to figure it out.
I mean, it's true though that no good deed goes unpunished, right? So when your title companies are really trying to protect you guys, I mean, you're the real estate agents and the buyers from really financial torture. I mean, this is awful. If these things get closed, it's we just really need to be careful. And if Flying S Title and Escrow with 120 years experience, we've got the technology, we've got the expertise. If we're really telling you that, hey, let's step back for a minute and really see if this is real or if it's not. Because think about it, if that buyer decides in 2 years, first of all, they don't own their property, they've built their dream home and it's not theirs, they flip it and sell it to the next guy. If you take it across the street with a title company or online to a title company that will close it, who are they going to call when they're ready to sell it? They're going to call you.
And then you have this break in the title chain from because everyone just keeps flipping it in cash transactions. So this break in the chain could go multiple transactions until it gets back to the retail world where it's like, hey, there's a lender, and the lender's like, no one, the original owner of this is not any of you.
Yeah.
So, and then, because like I said, you can't. It's really hard to pull fast ones on lenders. You know what I'm saying? They
they're gonna call. Yeah, they're gonna call. They're gonna put the brakes on for sure.
Learn a lot from the squirrel, but do you know where all your nuts are? You need a plan and a right-hand man. Learn how you can achieve FIRE, gain financial independence, and retire early. Call Lucas Thomas, your right-hand man in financial planning today at 602-885-1148 or visit rhmreal.com. If tomorrow never came, or life threw you a curveball, what if something happened while you were away? It's not what you leave them, it's what you teach them. Get the only course today you'll ever need to build your family's financial future. Get started at jjjinvesting.com.